Another Fox News alert, and back to our top story. The president declaring a national emergency to divert billions of dollars in funding for border wall construction. But a new Fox News poll finds 56% of registered voters oppose the president going around Congress to build the wall. Let's bring in our power panel. Matt Schlapp, chairman of the American Conservative Union, and Jason Nichols, University of Maryland professor. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Matt, Democrats are already saying that the president is throwing a fit, that he's having a tantrum. What do you say?
Yeah, I think the most amazing thing that I hear from Democrats is they're saying there's nothing to see here. There's no problem at the border. Of course, when 2 children died at the border, they were the ones saying we have an emergency at the border. When children were being separated from adults and they said they were being caged, they said there was an emergency at the border. Let's face it, we have a broken immigration system. We have a porous border. And the more illegal immigration is allowed to go unfettered, I think it challenges the political standing of legal immigration. Republicans like myself who are for a good, vigorous legal immigration system, I worry that the perception that we have no control over the system will undermine its support.
Okay, Jason, you want to respond to that?
Yes, I would say that there is a crisis at the border, but it was created by this administration. That's the issue. You know, the family separation that you pointed to, some of the actions of CBP that, I think could be better and could be improved. Instead, he creates a crisis. We know that this is not going to stop the flow of drugs, not going to stop the flow of human trafficking. It's already been proven that drug traffickers will fly drones over a barrier and they will dig tunnels under them. So this is actually, another pointless action where he is taking money away from military housing and many other places where it could go, and declaring an emergency like a tyrant.
Well, all he's doing in terms of whether it's separating families or what he's doing with the asylees, he's following the law, something Obama decided to not do. And actually, presidents don't have the willy-nilly discretion to say, I'll follow these laws and not follow other laws. The other criticism leveled by some on the conservative side as well, including that Fox poll, which I don't think is really worded correctly, he's not going around Congress. Congress actually gave him this authority. He's using the authority in statute, as your previous guest said, as other guests have said throughout the day on different shows. This is something that a process that was established back in the 1970s. It's been used by Obama. It's been used by George Bush 43 over and over again. You never opposed Obama's.
Not to reappropriate money, though. I mean, that's really what it's about.
No,
okay,
that's
go
not
ahead.
true. No, let me. The reason for the emergency is to get at that last $3.5 billion. That is the trigger that allows him to use that money. Now he has to. There's parameters in how you can spend that money for each of these pockets of money. There are parameters, but all of this is legal. None of this is extra constitutional.
Go ahead.
Nah, that's absolutely untrue. Number one, we know that Congress holds the purse strings. That's the way this works. This is our separation of powers. And
that money's already been sent over.
This
is not purse strings.
Right, and him declaring an emergency is very different than what Obama and other presidents have done. Obama declared it for the swine flu. These are things that actually are real emergencies and health emergencies for people. Not
that I'm not enjoying this. But I just want to point out, so we have a Democratic candidate on the other side in the form of Beto O'Rourke, who's talking about doing exactly the opposite of what the president is saying. Let's listen to that, and then I'll get you both to respond.
If you could, would you take the wall down now, here?
Yes.
Like you have a wall.
Absolutely.
Knock it down.
I'd take the wall down.
And do you think the city, if there's a referendum here in this city, that would pass?
I do. It's cost us tens of billions of dollars to build and to maintain, and it has pushed migrants and asylum seekers and refugees to the most inhospitable, the most hostile stretches of the U.S.-Mexico border, ensuring their suffering and death.
Jason, do you think Democrats should stand behind that message that Democrats in California should also tear down their own walls? Would you tell that to Nancy Pelosi?
Well, what I would say is that there's research out there that says that walls are ineffective, that it hasn't stopped things. Even
so, tear them down or no?
I don't see a reason why we would need a wall. I don't think that it's effective, or we call them walls. They're actually a fence. And they're not really effective at stopping undocumented immigration or any of the other things that we're talking about in terms of drugs or human trafficking.
Real quick, because we got to go. Yeah. You think other Democrats should say that and then see how the election turns out?
Run on that. You guys go with that.
We'll be right back. There we go.